Hello, good morning. Today I'm going to chair what is going to be the last General Affairs Council of the Romanian presidency. I think it's not an easy one because there are a number of subjects on the agenda. First, we are going to tackle the multi-financial framework. I think we are having on the table the Romanian proposal of the nego box. We were working all 6 months with all the member states trying to discuss different themes, and we have all these thematic debates that are now streamlined in the new nego box. I think this is a negotiation paper that, in our view, is balanced and encompasses views of different countries, different status countries. I think it's up to the leaders then to decide which of them should be kept and if the ones that we are put there are going to be useful. But we really think this is a balanced paper, and we hope that the member states would notice that we didn't take advantage of the position of the presidency. We just wanted to have something that could be a real compromise. On the second subject we have to put conclusions on the country reports done by the Commission on the enlargement package. As you are aware, Romania has done a lot, and from the very beginning we were very fully committed to work for the region, about the region, to work for the enlargement process, because we are a believer in the enlargement process. Romania is trying now to, as a presidency, is trying to go through the text and to find a way to put a text that would be engaging, constructive, and in the same time I think would keep the strategic balance and the strategic importance of the Western Balkans for Europe. Would have that in mind. All of us, we were speaking about the Express Agreement. I think it's very important to say that the stability of the region is the strategic interest of the Union. Then we are going to discuss the European Council agenda, and the European Council discussion is, MFF, the one I already mentioned, is going to be a climate change, is going to be as well about conclusions that we'd like to put forward on a subject that was dear to the Romanian presidency, and we have achieved results, which is disinformation. From the very beginning we worked on the disinformation. We have been able to have already conclusions in the General Affairs Council in March, and now I think this is the high time to be reiterated after the European elections at the European Council in June. At the end we are going to tackle the European semester, and we are going to put forward to the leaders the country-specific recommendations as procedures go each year. So this is all.
So disappointed about the delay in the Macedonia decision?
I should say that as long as the Macedonia is not disappointed, we are not disappointed, and as long as we keep a constructive approach, and we are not going to give something that doesn't make sense, that is close enough and has the right language, I think we should not be disappointed. It's important that we keep the momentum from press.
And by the end of the week, do you think the EU will have a collective target of net zero carbon by 2050?
This is a difficult discussion. I think it's going to be because whenever we had in the European Council climate change, we have to listen to the leaders. I think this is going to be up to the leaders, and it's going to be up, of course, of any changes in different policies all over Europe. We should not forget that this is as well linked with in some of the member states you have new governments. I think they have to have their policy lines, and I think this is going to be fully reflected in the European Council. I don't think it's going to be reflected at the level of the General Affairs Council. I think it's quite soon to say.
But by the end of the week, do you think there will be an agreed target?
By the end of the week, I think we'll have a clear view where we stand and who is standing with whom. I don't think that we can put a target to something at this very moment. But of course, if we are going to have agreement in the Council, whatever we want, we can do it. But what I can say now, it's important now to listen to member states and to see how they feel about the target, and in the same time what kind of policy this kind of thing should be reflected in the strategic agenda, because another item we are going to have today is preparing the leaders' discussion on the strategic agenda. As you are aware, we want to have a more ambitious strategic agenda, because I think at the end of the day it has to reflect the European results of the European elections.
Do you think by Thursday night we will have names of nominees for the top jobs?
This is something we don't discuss in the General Affairs Council. As you know, there is a mechanism that is already in place, a mandate from President Tusk. This is not something that we have to deal today, fortunately.
Yeah, but tell me your feeling about whether you think the process will come up with some names.
I know. I think right now it'd be difficult to speak about the names. We have names, and we have names. We have red lines. We have everything in place. But I think you need a political decision. I said, we have to take stock of the good work done after the extraordinary European Council that we had just after the European elections. And I think this is the idea of the European Council. I'm not so sure if it's going to be decisive, but I think that everybody would like to settle the issue, but on different terms.
Are you in favor of the Spitzenkandidat system?
As the General Affairs Council, we are not in favor of anything, either the Spitzenkandidat or whatever. I think, as a presidency, as well, we have our neutrality, so we should not favor one or the other. Plus, as I mentioned, we do not chair the European Council. The European Council is chaired by President Tusk. So I think at the end of the day, it's not for us as a presidency, because I'm here as a presidency, not I'm on a national capacity.
Thank you.
Thank you.